Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Your Call to Action. Today we've got a very special guest, Chris Heppeler from BLACKROLL. How's it going, Chris?
Very good, thank you for having me.
Oh, thanks for appearing on. We've been trying to get you on for a while. You actually Keepspace's first ever customer, so very special person in Keepspace's hearts. So just to get us started, can you please introduce yourself to our listeners?
Yeah, so my name is Chris Heppeler. You probably hear it, my accent is from Germany, so originally from Germany, but I've been in Australia for about 12 years now.
Yep.
And what I do for a living is BLACKROLL basically. So I'm the director of BLACKROLL Australia. And that's been a journey for the last 6 years, and it's been exciting.
Yeah, cool. So what exactly is BLACKROLL?
BLACKROLL is a German brand, and what we do is basically we provide solutions for recovery and activation and self-care.
Yep.
And what we're always trying to do, it should be a simple solution. So simple tools, simple methods, and education that's easy to understand.
Right, and that's got to do with the fascia, is that right?
Fascia. Exactly. The connective tissue within our body. It's the stuff that basically wraps through our bodies, around our muscles, and connects our muscles and our muscles to the bones. Basically, it's like another skin we've got on the inside, but it's not only on the outside of something. It actually wraps through our whole body, and obviously it has a job in there. It connects us, it holds us together, and it's really important, and we have to look after that just to be able to move and to function. And with our tools and the methods, we take care of that.
Yeah, nice. So what gravitated you to the BLACKROLL brand?
Basically, I just realized that fascia training, as we call it, when we use the BLACKROLL tools, it just works. It worked for myself. I'm doing a lot of sports, so being able to move and perform is really important. And that's why I just needed something to keep me going and to recover my body after any sports. And that's how I first came across BLACKROLL, and I realized this is cool. This is simple. This works, and a lot more people can benefit from that.
So when did you start distributing BLACKROLL in Australia?
Around about 6 years ago.
6 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So what were the early days like for you as a distributor?
Yeah, it's been tough from day one, basically. I mean, gotta say, we started it very, very slow and almost as a hobby for myself, because as I said, I was just really, really convinced that this works, but I was in a full-time job at the time, so we just brought in a few cartons of product to start with, and basically we sold them. I sold them out of the back of my car, but we always knew that it has legs, because in Germany especially, or in Europe, BLACKROLL was market leader at the time. It's massive, it's a large brand, so it just wasn't in Australia because no one was distributing. And that's why, we knew if we stick to it and do it properly, it's gonna go very far.
Especially because Australia's pretty sports orientated as a country, similar to Germany, but maybe Germany's more so for football. They're football crazy, is in soccer.
That's right.
It's very similar markets in that.
But to get back to that, the biggest challenge, of course, was that we didn't have any base. Like, there were no distribution channels which were already there. We didn't have any contacts, so we basically started from scratch and from Perth, which is not exactly the city where you would think you would base yourself in Australia if you want to grow a brand. But we made it happen.
So how were you sending out those orders, those first initial orders?
Basically we just had the first few cartons I just had at home. The product storage was at my home, and packed them myself and shipped them myself. And when we grew a little bit, we actually had just like a large shed, or not large, a small shed, like a garage size, I would say. And we stored it in there, and I was in there Just picking, packing, shipping.
The whole thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So what was your supply chain like? I would imagine in the early days it would have been just the most simple thing ever.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, obviously the supplier is there, it's BLACKROLL in Europe, and we just ordered some products there, and they shipped them over. First it was just air freight because it was smaller shippings.
Yep.
And they came, we received them, we sold stuff and then shipped it off.
Nice. So what were the challenges that you were facing in the early days, and how did you overcome them?
Well, I mean, as I said before, not really having many contacts at all, so that was a major challenge. But what we did was, of course, we started off by creating an online presence, a website and a web store, because you gotta have something to show people. We from the start didn't really want to work a lot with paper, like flyers and posters and these sort of things. We really tried to keep it all online based and paperless.
Yep.
So that's basically the first thing we did, and then we directed people to our website because it was like a catalog. And I guess that was a challenge on its own to establish that. And then of course, juggling, what do you do, where do you put your time, like do you put it in sales when you go on the road, or do you put it in your online store, or of course you then have to spend time in the warehouse, packing, so it's always in the beginning a juggling of tasks, priorities and time. How do you allocate that?
That's like the problem for a lot of founders out there. It's like you got a million tasks to do, but you've only got time to do like 10. So it's like, which 10 do you do?
That's right.
Yeah. So over the last 5 years, BLACKROLL has grown to being a nationwide brand in Australia. What was your strategy to achieve this?
We stick to the strategy that really worked well in Europe as well, and that is to connect with the right people in the market, to work with experts. I mean, BLACKROLL in general is very science-based, so everything we tell people is actually based on scientific findings. The tools are the way they are because they've been tested on people, and just with research and just scientists involved as well, who are really going into the world of fascia and what it is, how it works, and how to keep it healthy. And that's what BLACKROLL is based on. And what we've done here is basically connecting to the people in Australia who are already in that space, who are also, for example, physios, sports coaches, just people who are working with bodies.
Yeah.
And we introduced the brand to them, and of course we try to go straight away to the top, because in Germany, BLACKROLL is working with the German national soccer team, with the Bundesliga. It's everywhere over there, and that's also how it grew from the top down, because these guys, like the German national soccer team, for example, they knew, all right, we need a tool that we can take on the roads, where we can use when we don't always have a physio with us, for example, so we need self-massage, self-care tools. And once these guys had a BLACKROLL, it was pretty easy for the brand in Germany to trickle down into other leagues and other sports,
other junior sports or
amateur
sports.
And that's how we started as well. We went straight to the top. We talked to the Wallabies, for example. We connected here in Perth with Perth Glory, who's the A-League soccer club. And those guys, they all saw the potential in the product straight away. And that's how we started it, got those people excited, on board, and they became the influencers for Australia.
So would you agree that educating your customers, even through your training program, or that strategy you just said there, was a key to your growth?
Absolutely. As you said, of course, the other thing is the education we have behind this is, of course, a key pillar of our business. It's good to have a product that works, but you also have to educate people how to properly use it.
Yep.
And that's what we're doing too, because as I said before, it's all based on science, so you have to be able to communicate that knowledge to the right people as well, and BLACKROLL has done that pretty well. In Europe there are a few brilliant people working there who can, you know, translate scientific language into really easy to understand little pieces of information, and then that can be taught to sports coaches, physios and personal trainers, just the people who then in the end work with everyday people.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing. We're providing those, we train the trainers, let's say it that way.
So pre-COVID, let's say, what was the distribution breakdown of your products between like B2B and B2C?
Yeah, I would probably say 70% B2B and 30% just B2C direct.
Yep. And during that time, what locations or stores was your product stored at?
Where it was stored at?
As in, like, was it where could you get BLACKROLL?
Oh yeah, okay. We work with quite a few retail stores, obviously. Fitness stores, running stores, sports stores. Then of course physios are a major market for us, because they obviously on-sell to their patients. And online, we work with a few other online stores, let's say it that way, but of course we've got our own online store, e-commerce set up as well.
So the next topic I want to talk to you about is COVID and how you pivoted your strategy. So how did COVID impact BLACKROLL?
Oh, huge. I mean, we had a plan laid out for 2020, which involved a lot of events, a lot of sports events, but then also exhibition events, conferences for physio conferences and these sort of things, where we wanted to be and exhibit our product. And basically within that day, when everything was locked down, it was all canned. So we were there, and our whole plan for the year needed to be rethought. Exactly. And
So how did you change that strategy then during COVID?
I mean, like probably most of the businesses in our space, we obviously try to do as much as we can online, and just create content that people could access from home over the internet. And I mean, we're lucky, obviously we have a lot of good people on board, especially in Europe, but now also over here in Australia, who are good at creating content. There is a lot you can put into a video or into an online seminar or something that is actually really valuable for the viewer. And so because we suddenly had time, we didn't need to go anywhere, so we decided, all right, then let's produce really, really good, valuable content. And
Anyway, from there. So, how important was e-commerce during this time?
Huge, of course. I mean, if you produce the content, you drag in the visitors, and then these people, of course, they wanna know how to get that product and where to get it. And of course, if you link your e-commerce presence or your online store straight in there, then people can go and shop online straight away. It's a good result for business that way.
Because a lockdown isn't going to stop people from doing online shopping.
Absolutely, and especially with our products. I mean, this is these are the perfect products you can use at home. Because you couldn't go to the gym or do your sports, but you still need to look after yourself, and probably even more if you don't move as much. Things like little niggles and back pain from a lot of sitting and laying down, becoming a big topic. And then the BLACKROLL range is perfect for that.
So did you ever think that online sales would take off as much as it did during COVID?
Oh, I mean, we've always been realistic about online sales, that it's the future. And we put a lot of effort in it, and we had a lot of plans what we want to do, over a longer period of time. but of course we didn't think that it happened like that and that
it's crazy.
Took off like that. But I reckon we always saw it as a huge opportunity, to be honest, because we finally had the time to put all the plans we had for the years to come straight away into action. So we just boosted our online game within a few months in a way that we probably would have never done without COVID. And it would have taken us years to get where we are now just after a few months, which is awesome actually.
I was reading this statistic saying that e-commerce in that 4-month period of when everything was locked down, that it grew to what was projected for 2024. So we've already skipped like 4 years of growth in that regard, which is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
For e-commerce. Do you think that we've seen a change in consumer behaviour when it comes to health and fitness now? Because obviously when people were working out from home, they don't have to go to the gym. Do you reckon that's changed the way people use your products or any other gym product?
Yes, I think there's certainly a change. I just don't know how it's gonna be in the future. I mean, right now there's a change for sure.
That's true.
Because I obviously talk to a lot of people out in the market and to a lot of users as well, and what I hear a lot is that people really actually started to enjoy the working out from home. So a lot of people have just quit their gym membership, or still actually support their gym, but at the moment just don't go there because it just doesn't feel right. Or because they really subscribe to a nice online fitness program and just want to finish that and really actually realize that it's nice and probably gonna go that way in the future as well. So there's certainly a change, and I reckon it's gonna be a challenge for the gyms, especially for the big box gyms in the future, and they really have to think about ways how they can survive in that market.
True. So my last question for you is, what about online shopping? Is this e-commerce boom here to last, or is it just a temporary thing during COVID and it's going to go back down again?
No, I think it's here to last. I mean, it probably will always have its ups and downs, but people have realized that this is easy, this is a thing. Returns policies these days are really solid, at least with the good stores we would shop at. So it's not a high risk to buy online, and it's just really convenient. And everything's available. And you've got always, a good kind of overview over pricing. So it has a lot of advantages. Of course, there's still, I know that from myself as well, it's always still nice if you can go into a store and have a product in your hands. But what I think is what probably might happen, and that could be a way we go as well, is still having products in stores with retailers. But even the retailers probably will improve their online game a lot as well, and almost use their stores almost as showrooms. So people can go there, have a look, try stuff on, and just look with their hands, as you call it. But then they might go home and buy it online.
That's I think happening now. Hey, like sometimes for me personally, if I'm gonna go and buy a t-shirt or something, I will go online and find a t-shirt like prior to going into the store, and then I'll go to Maya and just try it on and then buy it instead of looking around everywhere. So I think it is happening. Like people actually go on their phones and just do their research on their phone before they buy a product as well.
Exactly.
So, I definitely agree with you on that. Thanks for appearing on the podcast. We've actually got some product there. Did you want to highlight, show it off?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about what we do and what the products are, but often it's, when I say recovery, it's a really broad word. And self-care, of course, as well. But I said it. What we do is actually pretty simple tools, and if you look at that, this is the BLACKROLL. It's
the original. Right?
The original product. That's how it all started. That's where the name comes from. It's a black roller. and it is just a self-massage tool. It's if you can't go to a physio and they can give you a proper massage, which if depending on what you're doing, you need sooner or you need more often or less often.
Yeah.
But tell me, is there any person in the world who doesn't appreciate a massage?
No.
Probably not. That's why. So with the BLACKROLL, you can give yourself a massage. So that's why everyone can benefit from a product like that.
Yeah.
And different tools different self-massage tools are available. They basically all doing the same thing. They press somewhere on your in your body and massage this spot.
Yep.
But with different shapes, you can just reach different areas better.
Yep.
Exactly. And that's our active recovery and activation, because it's really important to understand that a massage is not only for recovery. A massage can always also help to activate nerves, activate your muscle, activate the blood flow,
yep.
which is all stuff you actually need before an exercise or before a sports game. So activation really important, but then afterwards recovery also important.
Yeah.
And we do both, obviously, with
yeah.
these tools. And that's the active part we do, and then recently we also introduced a pillow, actually.
Oh yeah.
We call it the recovery pillow, because sleep is huge if you think about recovery. I mean, most of our recovery we do while sleeping, so it's really important to have a really good sleeping environment and a really good sleeping routine.
Yeah.
Because if we don't sleep, then all the stuff we do during the day is actually not even half as effective.
That's true.
So sleep is very important. That's why the BLACKROLL Recovery Pillow is a really exciting new product we introduced, and it's only going to grow as well, I think.
Nice, awesome. So if people want to get a BLACKROLL, get in touch with you or your brand, how can they do that?
Yeah, I mean, of course, always the first place to look is our online store, blackroll.com.au.
Yeah.
And that's just a resource for everything, for our education, for products, for just exercises, videos. We also got a really nice free app, which offers a lot of inspiration and just a lot of info if you have a specific problem even. For example, if you have knee pain, you just jump onto the app.
Yeah.
And there's like your whole body displayed, and you just click on the knee.
Yeah.
This is where I have pain, and then the app actually guides you through some exercises and some tips, and also the right products to use to treat that area.
Yeah. I've got the BLACKROLL app on my phone because I bought the loop bands. Yeah. And they've got the exercises for loop bands, and the loop bands are really cool. Yeah. Really good.
Well, loop bands, maybe while you mention them, I mean, of course, self-massage is really important for activation, but when we talk about activation, it's also about using your muscles, and the loop band is a perfect tool to activate and use muscles. That's why it's also part of our portfolio. Yeah.
Nice. Cool. Well, thanks again for appearing on the podcast.
Thanks again for having me. My pleasure.
See you later, guys. Thank you.
See ya.
See ya.
Thanks.